Hi, I'm Dr. James Talbot. I'm the Chief Medical Officer of Health for the province of Alberta. Between 1850 and 1950, the major threats to people's health in this province were due to things like unsafe water, unsafe food, crowded conditions, and poor hygiene, including garbage that wasn't being taken away. As a consequence of that, the average life expectancy in Alberta in 1900 was about 50. It now stands at 82, and most of those gains were made by people like the sanitary engineers, the people who specialized in removing sewage, the people who were responsible for water plant operation, the mayors and the reeves who had the leadership to recognize that by changing the surroundings in which we lived, we could actually prolong people's lives. It also included coalitions that included groups like the Prairie Women's Institute and charitable organizations, teachers, students, Girl Guides, Boy Scouts. And together they created an Alberta in which we now are able to prevent most of those diseases, promote people's health, and enjoy a significantly longer lifespan. The threats in Alberta these days, though, aren't so much from communicable diseases as they are from diseases like diabetes, obesity, and hypertension. But to be able to combat them effectively, we need to put the same kind of coalitions together.
Hi, my name is Stan Schwarzenberger, and I'm the Commissioner of Development and Infrastructure at the City of Medicine Hat. Firstly, I'd like to thank Dr. Talbot for his efforts to raise the awareness between community health and community design and building. We think that that's a very important concept here at the City of Medicine Hat, because this, after all, is where we live, work, and play. Emphasis on play. The boring stuff begins at the beginning. That's developing the plans that we adhere to make sure that we have communities that are vibrant, healthy, and sustainable. The fun part is where we actually do those plans. We do the designs, we build the communities, we build the buildings, and we do it in such a way that people want to congregate in meeting places, walk, interact, have fun, spend money in the stores. It's important that we do that in our commercial settings, in our residential settings, and in our parks, because there's a link between them all. They all have to go together to make a whole community. I'm standing in a very well-used park at the edge of Medicine Hat's downtown district. It also is a primary link to the well-used river pathway system. So this is a really important travel corridor. It's really important for recreation, and it binds one of our greatest amenities, our river valley and the pathway systems, to our commercial district. So it provides opportunities for recreation, for public gathering. It allows for the people who work downtown and are spending time downtown shopping to also come and just spend a bit of quiet time recreating and getting in touch again with nature. And it also provides a stopping off point for people who are a little bit more active, so it's a great amenity. Here we are on the corner of South Railway and 2nd Street. What I wanted to talk to you about here is our downtown road improvement and street improvement program. It's a multi-year program that's really intended to replace water and sewer pipes beneath the surface, upgrade those, replace the road top and surface, and replace the boulevards, sidewalks, street furniture. Street furniture is a really important aspect of any street design. The downtown is a really great example of that. As you can see, I'm sitting on a bench. This is part of the bulb out that I described earlier at the end of the block, where the bulb out serves a couple of purposes. It shortens the distance for pedestrians at crossings, but it also allows an environment like this. It's a widening of the sidewalk environment. You can put in benches. It allows for people to sit and rest, take in their environment, meet, and just enjoy their surroundings. So it's a really important aspect to street life. Another important piece of street furniture in a downtown setting in particular is this, a bike rack. It encourages people to be able to bring their bikes. They can secure them in a safe spot while they're enjoying the walk around the downtown, doing some shopping, meeting someone for a coffee. So the point is, provide furniture that invites healthy choices and invites for a variety of activities to occur. A couple of other things that I think are important. This is an old city. It's well over 100 years old. One of the features early on that was installed in the downtown that made Medicine Hat very iconic were the gas-powered street lamps. The street lamps are still here. Part of this restoration process has been to convert them to LED lighting. They still maintain the old style charm, but they're much more effective in terms of providing a safe environment, more lighting on the street, and they're much more economical for operations. So we're really happy that we've been able to do this conversion, and we're looking to do the conversion to LED lights actually across the entire city. Another thing that you can see here are some fairly young trees. The intent of the trees is to provide a softening effect for the street. It also provides some very good shade opportunities. Now, just a little bit behind us here is a bulb out. It's a kind of a unique feature. We've got a mid-block crossing, and the nice thing about mid-block is that there are no turning motions with the vehicles, so they are driving in a straight direction. So their line of sight is really focusing them on what lies ahead of them, so it makes it really easy to see pedestrians crossing the street. With the narrowing of the street, it also slows down traffic, which is another important aspect. The other thing I want to point out is that wide ramp for accessibility across the mid-block crossing. That's really important. You can also see the plantings that are just in the middle of going in. And again, it's intended to create a nice environment. This is the first stretch of road in the downtown improvement project, and there'll be many more stretches of road that will come in the subsequent years, over the next number of years. There was a little bit of trepidation by the business community when we started this project. There was a concern about loss of business and ultimately the viability of their operations. What we found, interestingly enough, from the business community themselves, is that they feel like this has been a very, very big improvement to their business environment and their bottom line. So they're seeing more traffic, they're seeing more interest. The evidence that we're on the right track is really in what we're seeing in terms of purchases of properties on this street in numbers that we're not seeing in other parts of the downtown. So that's clear evidence in our minds that the improvements we made in the street and the related furniture is leading business interest to conclude that there's investment potential here. So that's really, really positive feedback for us and encouraging in terms of where we're going to go with this downtown. Behind me is an example of a mature residential street. It's very walkable. You can see that there's a very mature tree canopy. There's a lot of birds that you can hear as you're walking down the street. Some really, really nice residential homes. There's a variety. From block to block, the palette changes, but the feel of comfort and interest is there. One block to the left is a neighborhood park. One block to the right is a local commercial neighborhood. So there's a variety of opportunities to either go shopping, go for a meal, or just go for a very nice stroll with your family, with your dog, or with your friends. It's a very comforting, very interesting, very vibrant environment. I'm standing in a local neighborhood commercial district. It's at the heart of a thriving residential neighborhood. The neighborhood and the commercial district were actually developed decades ago, probably 80 years ago. And it's really stood the test of time, the relationship between the two. An important part of a thriving neighborhood is the ability to have, within walking distance, amenities that you would use on a regular basis. So in behind me there's a convenience store, hardware store, a couple of restaurants, personal service shops, and those uses may change over time, but the mix is essentially the same. So really, many of the people that live in this neighborhood have most everything they need within ready walking distance. The other thing that is a really important component is that there's a good transit system where you have the ability to get on a bus and go to other parts of the community to access the amenities that aren't within walking distance. This is a design that's a best practice for future designs. There should really be walkable neighborhoods that include the commercial aspects. It's a very comforting, very interesting, very vibrant environment.
I applaud Medicine Hat's ability to recognize that your community is a major determinant of how healthy you're going to be and how much wellness is going to be created. And I further commend you for your approaches to bringing those teams back together again that will result in us continuing to enjoy long and healthy lives.
I invite you to go to www.medicinehat.ca and look for postings for opportunities to get involved as volunteers and participate in our planning and development processes. Thank you very much.